So you want to join Anonymous? You cannot join Anonymous. Nobody can join Anonymous. Anonymous is not an organization. It is not a club, a party, or even a movement. There is no charter, no manifest, no membership fees. Anonymous has no leaders, no gurus, no ideologists. In fact, it does not even have a fixed ideology. All we are is people who travel a short distance together, much like commuters who meet in a bus or tram.
The system and learning how it functioned, I was able to escape from the current situation we were going through.
So you were self-taught?
Absolutely. You know, everybody around me were into something, but it wasn't computers.
From the moment Hector Montsegur got his hands on a used desktop, he had a passion for computers. But for the boy raised by his grandmother in this New York City housing project, it was the internet that provided a gateway to something bigger.
How did you learn about hacking?
You know, we were poor, so I needed to find a way that would be cheap or free so that I could be able to access the internet without being a burden to my grandmother.
According to court documents, at first he stole credit card information, selling the numbers or using them to pay his own bills. Montsegur eventually adopted the name Sabu and joined a mysterious group of hackers about to take off.
Tell me about Anonymous.
Anonymous is an idea where we could all be anonymous. We could all work together as a crowd, united. We could rise and fight against oppression.
We are Anonymous. We are Legion.
As Anonymous grew, Montsegur helped take the movement to a worldwide level. At the height of the Arab Spring in Tunisia, he hijacked the Prime Minister's website, posting this letter in support of protesters.
It was amazing. I saw finally I was able to do something that contributed to society, regardless if I was at home in the Lower East Side, in the projects, behind a computer.
Montsegur admits he was behind thousands of hacks. While working with Anonymous and his own offshoot group, Lulzsec, some of his targets included Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, Sony, and the U.S. Senate.
Hacking's illegal.
Yeah.
Were you worried about getting caught?
Not necessarily.
Because you thought you were better than they were?
After you're hacking for so long, you reach a point of no return. Regardless if you fear that they're going to get you one day, it's too late.
In June 2011, Montsegur led a brazen attack on the website of InfraGard, an FBI affiliate. Days later, a team of FBI agents showed up at the same apartment where he grew up.
So they said, well, we know who you are. We know what you're doing. And we also know you have 2 kids in the house. You make the decision. So it's clear as day they had an understanding that my weakness
was your kids.
Was the kids.
He immediately chose to work as an FBI informant to avoid the possibility of serving up to 26 years in prison. For the next 3 years, he continued communicating with fellow hackers, only now every keystroke was logged.
FBI says that you helped them prevent more than 300 cyber attacks.
Yeah.
The military, NASA.
I was able to intercept attacks that were happening against the government and share it with the government so they could fix these issues.
He also played a key role in the arrest of a group of co-conspirators, 7 of whom pleaded guilty, including the FBI's most wanted cybercriminal, Jeremy Hammond. Some fellow hacktivists saw Montsegur's cooperation as the ultimate betrayal, labeling him a rat.
Did you take any pride in giving these guys up?
It wasn't a situation where I identified anybody. I didn't point my fingers at nobody. I
You're
did not provide.
You're rationalizing this.
No, I'm giving you reality. My cooperation entailed logging and providing intelligence. It didn't mean, can you please tell me the identity of one of your mates?
Suppose they'd said that.
How? We're anonymous.
Montsegur's talent and keen eye highlighted vulnerabilities in the critical systems that keep America online. Threats, he says, still exist.
And in all reality, there is no security. The hackers could break right into the airport. The phone systems, obviously. The water supply systems, shut them down.
Scary to me.
It should be an inspiration to the American government to focus on our infrastructure. We have a sickening reliance on security contractors, the companies that Edward Snowden worked for.
Right.
Who will guard the guards, Charlie? our security, the people we pay for, people we hire with tax dollars, are not really secure themselves.
Earlier this year, Monsiga was sentenced to time served. On the day his cooperation was made public, Anonymous suggested it was indestructible, tweeting, "Anonymous is a hydra, cut off one head and we grow two back." Monsiga's family was threatened, and he remains cautious.
Would you do any of this differently?
If I were to go back, I would remain a political hacktivist, hacker. However, I would stay away from Anonymous.
Because?
It was just too much publicity.
Can you imagine that if you had not gone one direction, but had ended up in Silicon Valley?
Well, that's the problem. I didn't end up in Silicon Valley. I had no connections to the world. And I guarantee you, though, had I made it to Silicon Valley, had I met you when I was 18, and you probably could have pointed me in the right direction,
Right.
you and I would be having a completely different discussion.